Hi everyone, I'm Darren Rudkin from The Mind at Work, here to look at the world through the lens of purpose. Now this week, the purpose I'm inviting you to look at is the purpose of speaking up, of challenging the status quo, of saying the thing that is difficult to say in your situation, which might be your family situation, it might be your work, it might be the society, part of society you're working in. Speaking up and challenging the status quo is a difficult purpose to embrace. And it goes very well with the purpose to also listen and respect the other point of view. So when it's married with that purpose to respect others, or to offer an alternative because you have something to say, or you can see some interests, including your own, that are being overlooked, then this purpose is a really, really important one in encouraging change. Now, the example that I want to bring forward this week as inspiration is a controversial one. And in bringing this, I've got nothing to say. This isn't the place for me to comment on the content of what he's saying. But I do want to point to the extraordinary courage of Bobby Kennedy Jr., who's standing as an independent in the upcoming American election. He is speaking of he is basically standing against the might of the American political system. He is speaking up against the corruption of the state, the capture of regulatory agencies, and he's doing all that having been denied Secret Service protection. Now, this is a Kennedy who's had his father and his uncle assassinated. So I think this is quite an extreme example of the courage it takes to stand up and say, I've got something different to say from these main voices. Now, I'm not asking you to take risks at that level, but to point out that it does require some personal risk to speak up. It does require some courage. And I invite you to look this week at one area in your life where you think you could elevate things by really connecting to a purpose to speak up, to challenge the status quo, to represent a voice, your own or others, that are not being heard, and to notice that the effect of that in you, or to notice where you're seeing it around you and to recognize it, because you know the person who's standing up against the status quo, it's often a very lonely place. So offer your support and encouragement to them and ask for it yourself if you're stepping into that place where you think it's time for you to say the difficult thing.